sex scandal behind the bench, leading to a new trial for a man accused of drug trafficking.
Aaron Fort will get that new trial after it was discovered the judge who presided over his case, Tim Henderson, was having an affair with the prosecutor.
New information tonight after a murder conviction was thrown out.
Last night we told you about Robert Hashhagen's murder conviction. It was thrown out because of a sexual relationship between the judge and the prosecutor in the case.
All right, today we're going to look into the case of this corrupt judge who may be one of the worst judges in American history. Hundreds of his cases are likely going to be overturned. Okay, so this is Oklahoma Judge Timothy Henderson. Now, Judge Henderson has overseen hundreds of cases, everything from first-degree murder to drug trafficking. But he had a little secret. He was having sex with the lead prosecutor in those cases.
First here at 6, a convicted murderer went back to court today.
This time, his attorneys argue he didn't get a fair trial based on the judge and prosecutor's alleged prior sexual relationship.
Counsel for the state, counsel for the defendant.
News of former Judge Tim Henderson's alleged sexual relationship with an Oklahoma County assistant DA came to light in April when Henderson suddenly resigned his position. Court paperwork shows neither denied a sexual relationship existed for 2 years. The prosecutor alleges she was sexually abused.
Now, after that shocking revelation, some more female attorneys came forward and said, hey, the judge abused us too, while he was armed with a gun.
Monday night, detailed documents from the perspective of 2 female attorneys revealing interactions they claim occurred between them and now former Oklahoma County District Judge Timothy Henderson, reacting to the newly public search warrant, which goes back to the spring of 2016, when an attorney says the alleged unwanted approaches first started and continued for years. The attorney saying at one point Henderson calling her to his office and, quote, shut the door, turned her around, kissed her, and put her hand on his crotch. The search warrant detailing other alleged interactions, which included Henderson getting undressed, touching the attorney, and, quote, dry humping her. Activities she told investigators she, quote, did not want to engage in. As for why it took years for both attorneys to come forward, the attorneys allege in the documents that Henderson, quote, always had a gun with him in his office, in the courtroom, and outside the courthouse. A second attorney claiming hugs with Henderson allegedly turned to the judge squeezing her backside. At one point, alleging she was groped from behind and forced to kiss him as he touched her inappropriately.
Now, if you don't think that's bad enough, the judge was also accused of having sex with the lead prosecutor in murder trials. Now, there's something like 100 cases that now may be overturned because this judge couldn't keep it in his pants.
A secret sex scandal at the courthouse could lead to a new trial for a convicted murderer.
We both firmly believe that we were treated extremely unfairly at trial. At the time, we didn't know why. I feel like we have a much better idea about that now.
And that is where we begin tonight at 6. A convicted killer, Robert Hashhagen, could get a new trial.
All because of a secret sexual relationship between the judge presiding over the case and one of the prosecutors.
At the time of the trial, Hashhagen's attorneys had no idea that he was having an affair with one of the prosecutors on the case, and it's because of that they believe he deserves a new trial.
So now when all this came to light, hundreds of cases were called into question because the judge was having sex with the prosecutor at the time of the case. Check it out.
New information tonight after a murder conviction was thrown out.
Last night we told you about Robert Hashhagen's murder conviction. It was thrown out because of a sexual relationship between the judge and the prosecutor in the case.
As our Ashley Moss found out, many other cases could see a similar result.
Insiders are calling that relationship the worst kept secret on the bench at the time. And one attorney now tells me it casts doubt on hundreds of other cases because of the potential for constitutional rights violations.
Aaron Thomas Brock was sentenced to 35 years in prison for robbing a Southwest Oklahoma City motel at Knife Point in 2015. But a sexual relationship between the judge who presided over his case and one of the prosecutors cast doubt on whether or not it was tried with bias.
A sex scandal behind the bench, leading to a new trial for a man accused of drug trafficking.
Aaron Fort will get that new trial after it was discovered the judge who presided over his case, Tim Henderson, was having an affair with the prosecutor.
The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals rules that Aaron Fort should get a new trial because of an affair between Judge Henderson and a prosecutor. The decision states, The relationship between the trial judge and the prosecutor was kept secret from Fort and his attorneys, and he could not seek the judge's recusal.
So we have murder convictions, robbery convictions, even drug trafficking convictions all being overturned because this judge was sleeping with the prosecutor, which was in itself insane. So police investigated whether this judge had actually sexually assaulted these prosecutors and other attorneys.
First at 5, no criminal charges for a former Oklahoma County judge accused of sexually abusing women, including several prosecutors.
The DA on the case decided Tim Henderson's relationships with the women were consensual. News 9's crime tracker Jennifer Pierce is at the courthouse with the new details.
This was a 14-month-long investigation done by the Grady County DA. He was appointed by the Attorney General. Now, Jason Hicks says that there was not enough evidence to suggest that Tim Henderson committed any sexual crimes. DA David Prater recused himself from the investigation due to 2 of the victims working as prosecutors in his office. The OSBI and Special Prosecutor Jason Hicks took over. Hicks released a statement following his decision on Monday, saying in part, "In this investigation, it is crystal clear that Henderson preyed on young women whom he believed would respond in his favor." OSBI agents seized emails and text messages between Henderson and the women. Hicks says nothing pointed to sexual crimes, but consensual relationships.
Now, Judge Henderson resigned from the bench because of all the issues that he's having, but he wanted to keep his law license. The Oklahoma bar says, not so fast. We think what you did was so bad that you should never be able to practice law in the state of Oklahoma again.
Top story here at 4:30. A new complaint filed against an Oklahoma County judge accused of sexual misconduct. This complaint filed by the Oklahoma Bar Association.
Joining us live in studio, News 9's Haley Wager to talk about the new developments. Haley.
Well, the Oklahoma Bar Association says Henderson's actions constituted professional misconduct, adding that it violated several rules that judges are expected to follow. Henderson began his tenure as an Oklahoma County judge in 2012, but resigned in 2021 after 3 female attorneys accused him of sexual misconduct. This led to hundreds of Henderson's cases being brought into question. 2 of those cases have been overturned so far. Now the Bar Association is asking that Henderson be disciplined.
They said what he did was deceitful, dishonest, and unfair to litigants. It's bad for the whole legal profession to think that a DA and a judge were having relations while they were handling cases before him with other litigants' lives at stake.
OSBI investigated the claims against Judge Henderson, but no charges were ever filed. Henderson's case is expected to be heard by the state Supreme Court. And Robert Hashigan, whose murder conviction was overturned last month because of the accusations against Henderson, has a new trial scheduled for February 2nd of next year.
So the judge, seeing the writing on the wall, tendered his resignation from the Oklahoma bar, which was accepted by the Supreme Court of Oklahoma, and he will not be able to practice law or get reinstated within the next 5 years. Now, I believe this is too light for this judge. I believe this judge should not be able to practice law ever again. He should be barred from the bar. Forgive the pun. But let me know what you think about this case. This judge was obviously going insane, putting at risk hundreds and hundreds of murder convictions from some people who likely deserve to be in prison. Now, they may get out because this judge couldn't keep it in his pants. And what do you think about the Supreme Court's decision to just bar him from reinstatement for the next 5 years? Like, how could you possibly even let this guy think he can come back to be a lawyer, right? His law license should be a thing of the past. But this is where you can let me know how you feel. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.